Which
right here.
email, Sean, did you send that
did
to?
you listen? Hold on. Did they take your job? Did they take your gun from you, Trey? You had a
No,
gun on that day,
I still
right?
got a gun on me right now.
Oh, you have a gun on you right now.
Literally right now.
Are you supposed to have a gun, Trey?
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, you are. Okay, hold on.
Hurry up. Just so I'm
Hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up. Show
Hurry
them
up before I get in trouble. Oh, wait. That's you, right, Trey?
So so
You're a good guy, though.
hold on,
Abuse
hold on,
on,
hold
what
on,
does
hold
that
on,
say?
hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay.
Abuse on,
I'm gonna
is that, hold on, wait, let's pull this up. It says, what's the charge here? Hold on, let me see right here. That's our good friend Trey. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, right?
Yeah. So, can you mute him, or what's gonna happen? Because
I can mute him if you
Can you
want, bro. Yeah, you need me to mute him?
yeah,
what's the charge here? Let's see. Wait. Let's see the charge here. Hold on. Go down.
Go
Let's
down.
go. That's Trey.
Mhm.
Let's see the good guy Trey who lost his job. Assault and battery on a family member.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you dig into my past because I mean it's cool. I'm not tripping.
What was the date on that? Is that your past or is that recent? I mean,
So it's my past. So, hold on. Can I talk?
hold on. Wait. Another one. Annoying phone calls. You said that I'm a nuisance to America, and you make annoying phone calls and threatening phone calls.
So okay.
So you talk about whoa. This is great. You talk about people emailing you threats and annoying you, and that's literally your MO, bro. That's literally what you do. You annoy people and you threaten them on the phone.
So I'm again. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hold on, wait, another one. Wait, what's this one? Weapons, reckless handling of a firearm, brandishing and pointing a firearm, vandalism, damaged property, brandishing or firearm. So Trey, are you sure you're allowed to have a firearm?
Okay. So ask me this question. Are you done?
Are you sure? I don't
Trey,
think you're allowed.
your time to talk, Trey. And Sean's not going to say anything. Go ahead, Trey.
Hold on. So ask me how many of them charges stuck.
How many of the charges stuck?
Sean?
He just asked you.
No, I want you to ask me since you got the big mouth. Ask me. How many of them charges stuck?
Dude, so you're telling me you're carrying a gun right now? Let me see.
Oh, bro, I'm carrying a gun. I'm carrying a gun on me right. I don't have to prove nothing to you. But I'm literally wearing a.
You're not allowed to, Trey. You're not allowed to. Let's be real. That's why.
I'm literally carrying. I'm not playing. Okay, all right.
You made up this whole story, bro. You made
my god,
up, and you
bro!
just got exposed.
Hold on, let me talk. Hold on, can I talk? Ask how many charges? How many out of all them charges you seen? How many did stuck? How many stuck?
How many of those charges, Trey, that we was just talking about? How many of those charges stuck? What happened to those charges?
Nothing.
They all got dropped.
Everything got dropped. So I'm gonna be 100. I was in a relationship, and I was in a relationship with a woman that would rather see me locked up than leave. No, I didn't. A couple times I did go back. I was in love. I'm young. She was older, so I was like, okay, let me you know what I'm saying? Let me you know how dumb people do when they in a relationship. They go back.
Yep.
They go back. Charges never stuck. None of them never stuck. I literally could call this lady right now, and she could tell you. Literally could call this lady right now. She was.
I wouldn't call her anymore, man. You already got arrested for calling her.
Oh my god! You're not. I literally just said.
I wouldn't.
This woman. Listen to me. This woman would rather see me. When back then she was so obsessed with me that she would rather see me in jail than move on. And it went like that for 2 years until I had a fucking enough. Your lies, right? Yeah, I know.
Right.
Simple.
It's okay, man. It's okay. To be honest with you,
Allied University.
Hey, look. To be honest with you, man. I just wanted to come at you as a man, and you know what I'm saying. Just tell you how you really messed my life up, bro. Like that's I got, and it's crazy. I don't need nobody to say that I'm right, you're wrong. I wanted to have a conversation with you because I grew up, men have conversations, or we go to the backyard, and duke it out, and then we still have a conversation and shake hands. That's how I grew up.
So not true. So my main point is that a lot of things can be manipulated, but I just don't like it. You can write whatever story you want about Sean Paul being convicted of attempted robbery. No one was hurt. Make sure you put that in there. Make sure you put in that it happened 10 years ago and he hasn't been in any sort of trouble since, other than his activism work. Make sure you put in there that didn't get away with any money. It was attempted. So make sure you put all that in there. And the problem is no one really looks, no one knows me before. No one knows me before that happened. I don't get credit for all the good things I did before then, right? But that's not good enough for all of you. He's shady about his past. He's lying about his past. That's what makes this a big deal. Is because he's lied about it. Where did I lie about it? When have I ever lied about being convicted of a felony 10 years ago? I would love to see it. I would love to see the receipts on that because it's never happened. It's never happened. Sorry that I didn't come out and just say, hey, you know what? When I was 5 years old, I did a really good thing. When I was 20 years old, I did a really bad thing 10 years ago. And I mean, you want my life story, wait for the book to come out. But I didn't deny anything to anyone because I owe no one. I'm not afraid of any of you out there. I don't owe you anything whatsoever. I run a YouTube channel. I believe in what I do. There's law enforcement officers that believe in what I do. Like, you think I hate law enforcement, but I don't. Like, there's law enforcement that are at my trial right now supporting me. Like, and you're sitting on your couch hating me, saying that blue lives matter and all this other stuff. Like, actual law enforcement officers have reached out to me and I work with them. I don't hate law enforcement. You have to sensationalize what's going on here. LA lied about his past. Long Island Audit lied. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Have you seen anything, you personally, since I'm here with you, I can only ask you. I think you've said it already. You haven't seen anything, right?
I haven't seen any evidence of you denying your prison time or your conviction. And to be honest, why wouldn't you just outright wear it on a t-shirt everywhere you go? I mean, come on. If you're not ashamed of it, right? I mean, it's a silly thing, right?
No one said of course I would be.
No. What I'm saying, that's a silly thing, right?
Oh, yes.
Like
okay.
The expectation.
So you could. I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't I just put it on my forehead and say, hey, listen, 10 years ago, every single year I'll change the date and say 1 year ago I was convicted of a felony. 2 years ago I was, for the rest of my life, right? I paid my debt to society and I've moved on. People are saying I saw somebody, I owe my supporters. My supporters, I hope some of them see this. I'm not going to, I run my channel the way I see fit. And I don't think that is relevant information to the man and person I am today. 10 years ago, if it was something like the allegations that are levied against me, that's something really serious that would need to be, disclosed, in my opinion. But not hurting anyone and not getting away with any type of money or anything 10 years ago, I think that I'm eligible for a certificate of good conduct because I haven't been convicted of anything in 10 years. But it doesn't matter. I am who I am today. I'm confident who I am today. I know I'm a good person, no matter what anyone says. I know I'm a good father. I know I'm a good husband. I know I'm a good brother, sister, to my brother and sister. There's nothing much I could say. I'm not going to advertise it like I advertise my t-shirts and my hats, right? That just doesn't make any sense. But that's my point, is that people can't just say, Long Island Sean Paul Reyes was convicted of attempted robbery 10 years ago. They can't just say that. It has to be sensationalized. They got to put their little twist on it because that's not good enough, apparently. That's not good enough for someone who has a past. I don't know. People say that I owe my supporters an explanation of my past. Again, if you want my whole entire life story, I was talking about this with my sister, and I was like, hey, what do you think? Because I always get counsel from my sister and my family members. And she's like, well, they don't know you like I know you. Like they weren't raised with you. They don't know who you were before you committed, you made a bad decision and you paid for that decision and we suffered and you suffered. And they don't know you who you were before then. And they only know who you are on YouTube. They don't know you. So who you don't owe anybody anything. As long as you can sleep at night and I'm a good person to the people that are around me in my circle. That's all I care about. I don't care about random new usernames in a live chat. I'm sorry to tell all of you that, people, and I'm sure you get this on your side too, Johnny, people are very tribalized and you get so upset about, a specific person that you see on YouTube. I've never had that problem, but that doesn't change who I am today. Anybody that, people can make bad decisions in their life. They can get involved with the wrong people. And I don't like to make excuses. So I did what I did. I made the wrong decision. Again, didn't hurt anyone, didn't get away with anything. So I attempted,
Well, we do have to point out that if it was an armed robbery, there is some emotional damage there. That some people did get that type of hurt. So
I meant, okay.
Physically,
let me clarify.
Physically.
That's a very good point, Johnny. That's a very good point. Let me clarify. So, yes, was emotional damage inflicted on people? I 100% agree. You're right. There's a financial aspect to it, and then there's an emotional aspect. And I have since met with the person involved, and we have had a discussion because I feel horrible to this day. You don't think that if I, again, it doesn't matter what you guys think about me. It matters what I think and my family. And I already beat myself up for the last 10 years over it. And I think I'm doing better with my life, that I'm doing something that I truly believe in, that others, hundreds of thousands of other people believe in. So hold them accountable legally. And, but I do agree, Johnny, you're right. There was emotional damage inflicted. And on that, I did speak with the victim in the scenario, in this incident since that date. Again, well, does that fix everything? No. Does that excuse my behavior? Nothing excused my behavior. I would just like to say the facts. The facts where it was over 10 years ago. Haven't been convicted of anything since, even before that 10 years. So you want to talk about 10 years ago, go back before that. The how old was I? 20? Go back to 20 years before that. I mean, that's kind of unreasonable. 20 I would have been, but go back another 10 years. I don't know, 10. I'd never been in trouble before then either. So again, I made one bad decision in my life and I'll regret it forever. I will regret it. It is what it is. I regret it. Oh no. I maybe misunderstood me, Phil, but I'm not saying that number of views validates what I do. I'm just saying that when I mentioned number of views, I was talking more in the aspect of what is journalism and what is newsworthy. And I said that in relation to, gathering content for public interest. And views would definitely be a metric to gauge public interest. That's all I'm not saying that views makes me right or wrong. It is what it is.
Team Skeptic says, but doesn't LIA do the same thing when he posts the phone numbers of government employees? I mean to say, does he not realize that argument goes both ways? They have families too.
Oh, can I answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So Team Skeptic, again, I've talked to Team Skeptic behind the scenes and I never had, nothing personal ever. Nothing's personal with anybody. But I would answer that question where I'd never post anyone's, I'm not, people have posted my home residence on their YouTube videos. Like I've never posted anyone's personal information. I post the main line to a town clerk. It is the people's right. First of all, it's public information. I do post Facebook links to the government agency as well as the main line to someone's house, to like the municipality, let's say, right?
Oh, we got you now. Freudian slip.
No. So I've never posted personal information. It's all public information. And the people have the right. I'm not telling them what to do. I, in fact, say, if you want to petition grievances to your government, you should do so in a peaceful way.
Yeah. I wanna address that really quick. And again, we don't have to
What?
get this big
Go ahead.
time because you know you said you wanted to say that for a later conversation. That is one of the things that does kind of irk me a little bit when somebody posts like, here's the number for whatever police department that I'm at, or whatever. Like fucking NC Tyrant Hunter likes to post the information for the private businesses that he audits. And say, you know, well, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying to call them. Don't call them or anything, but here's their information. We all know that.
Okay, but wait, we're talking about two separate. We're talking.
No, for sure.
We're talking about two separate people. NC Tyrant Hunter is not Long Island Audit.
No.
I do not audit private businesses.
I'm not saying that you do, and I'm using.
No,
NC
I just
Tyrant
want
Hunter
to make it clear that I want to
sure.
draw the distinction that yes, you can make arguments for putting people's private. That is horrible. I think that's horrible.
No.
You know?
Not. I'm not. Yeah, don't put people's private information out there, folks. It's
Just don't do it. Yeah, no, but it's public.
But the argument is, well, I provided the number. I didn't tell them to use the number. I just provided that number for them.
Well, you're providing the number on the basis of that some people, you're knowing that some people might use it. So, you know, you might not know how many people or what they're going to say, but you're putting the number out there just like I put out the municipality's number out there for a reason. And it's mainly because you can't have your cake and eat it too, because when people do well in my audits and they, you know, well in my terms and well in the people's terms, you know, watch it, the large group of people that watch it, which would, again, I only say that for like a sample size of what people are thinking in that particular space. But if, for example, this woman, Robin, she was the executive assistant a couple videos ago who showed me around the entire courthouse, how it was historic. She never told me, why are you filming? Get out. She was very calm. She was a beautiful person and treated me with nothing but respect and shined a good light. I put the contact information for that city hall too, you know, and the email address of her boss too. So that way she can get kudos. So, you know, and she can, I don't tell people what to put, but I'm sure she got a lot of good emails, right? Again, you know, what's wrong with that is your right. We can talk about opinions and everything else, but there's rights. You have a right to peacefully petition your grievances to your government. That's a right. You know, that's always wondered. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Blue Bear for $5 says, does Long Island Audit know the difference between a public forum and a limited public forum? Can you explain the difference if you do?
Well, that would mean me being, that you're referring to the public forum doctrine. I'm not an attorney. I'm not even a pro se litigant as far as, you know, don't claim to have my Reyes anywhere. So I feel like that'd be legal advice, and I can't because I'm not an attorney. And even if I was, I don't think attorneys give legal advice over YouTube. So
some of them do. Some of the bigger ones.
Hey.
Not 50 for 199 says, journalists don't make the story or be the story.
I agree.
I tend to agree with this one as well. And it's something that, and again, not specifically lumping you in with this, but that is something that a lot of these.
I agree with that statement. I do agree with that statement. I do agree with that statement. I just, again, it comes down to opinions. Do you think that, you know, if someone doesn't like someone doing something they have the right to do and they act in a way that's unbecoming of them, aren't they the story? How many, you know, there's other things that I have done besides just walking around a post office with a camera that have exposed, you know, you can't just say, oh, he just walks around. What does that do? You know, you're the story. Was I the story when I, you know, reported on my channel, used my platform to expose other people's situations that have reached out to me and said, hey, listen, this tyrant, this officer, you know, violated my rights, and I exposed them.
Well, see, but that would be, that's different, right? That's different, right? So as a journalist, somebody would bring a story like this story here. Somebody brought this to my attention and said, hey, what do you think about this, etc. And see, that me going out, and yes, I do realize the kind of the double edge that I'm playing here by hosting a live stream, interviewing you. It's still not me inserting myself into the story. You are the story right now. These allegations against you are the story.
Correct. Yeah.
I didn't say I'm coming in here to accuse you of all this stuff. I'm coming in here to levy all these things at you. Do you understand what the difference that I'm pointing out here?
No. I think I understand what you're trying to say, but I would just say is that sometimes you're not always part of the story, and sometimes, you know, it's why I call it investigative journalism, because sometimes is it inserting your story? I was having a conversation with a journalist who's covering a national journalist who's covering my trial. That's why it's being recorded. It's part of the national media. I also will be going with another national media reporter on. He wants to come on an audit to write a story. Again, national media. So, they're interested. There's interest in what's going on here. So I asked him. I said, we're having a discussion. It's like, would it be any different if you're investigating? Like, I get emails and tips on my website on hey, go check out this DMV. They treated me badly. So it's getting just like you got a tip. I got a tip to go somewhere, and I go there and see how that government officials treat me and treat a man exercising his rights. So I get tips too to go to hey, go to this town hall, go to this city hall, go to this DMV, wherever it is. I get tips too. And just because you're working on, if I'm trying to, like when I covered that body camera footage of the officer saying, 20 years ago I'd be dead with my teeth missing, that was as a result of me walking into a library. That officer always had those feelings. I didn't just put those feelings of those homicidal feelings into that officer. He's thought that for the last 25 years he's been on the job. But because I walked into a library, now his motives are known to everyone, that he would kill someone 20 years ago. But again, opinions.
For certain. Phil for 1999 says the issue I have is because the only reaction the government will have is to restrict the rights of all the rest of us, which will affect me. So now my rights get restricted because you want money from YouTube. And, that is a legitimate concern because we have started to see like Arizona House Bill 2319 passed. And again, it is rightfully been challenged. I think that HB 2319 is a terrible bill simply with the fact that it's a one-pager that extremely limits everybody's rights there's no discernible what is the word I'm looking for? It's too vague. It can be loosely applied to anybody at any time for anything. So that's a legitimate concern.
But I agree. But let's put the blame where the blame lies. Let's lay the blame at the feet of the people where it lies. You can't say that I didn't write the bill. The Arizona auditors didn't write the bill, whether it was in reaction to auditors or not. You said that you disagree with the bill, correct, Johnny? Right? You said
I absolutely again because it's way too vague.
Okay, so you completely disagree with that bill. Auditors didn't write the bill. The bill was written, whether in response to or not, it was still written by state legislators. That's what they wrote.
To be fair, the majority of law that is passed is in response to something.
Yeah, no, in response to something that would bring a safety concern in my mind, at least. I would think that something that would punish people. Again, it's about, there's already laws on the books. There doesn't need to be an anti-auditing law. There's already laws on the books from harassing people. Harassment is a crime, correct? Whether what state you're in, all the behaviors that the people who are in this chat find so disgusting and accuse me of, there are laws on the books that the police officers could enforce: disorderly conduct, harassment, stalking. There's a whole bunch. They don't need to make a new law. They made that new law for them. They did that because they wanted to. There doesn't need to be a new law made. And, I don't want anyone's rights to be restricted. And the last part about money being made on YouTube, a lot of people say, well, you're not a real journalist. I get this question. You're not a real journalist. You're just making money on YouTube. Every single journalist, real or not, again, that's your opinion, but real or not, makes money for their journalism. Every single one of them. So they all profit off of their journalism. Every single one. Some of them, I would say, in shady ways, like mainstream media. I would think that, again, these are all debates you can have. I would say that, CNN and MSNBC lean, I think it's pretty objective at this point, lean left, and they're going to paint the story in their own narrative. Does that make them fake news? Fox News and others are going to paint it more right. Is that fake news? They have an agenda. Like I told you, everybody has an agenda, whether you're news media, whether you're an independent journalist, a regular person, everybody has their own agenda.
Let's see here. Blue Bear says, I will rephrase in LA's opinion, what is the difference between public forum and limited public forum? Do you know the difference between the two?
I would say, Blue Bear, my answer would remain the same. I am not a licensed attorney. That would be a legal question that I do not have the capabilities of answering. And I've not attested in any video that I am some legal scholar of 20 years or a pro se litigant, on both sides. We have the legal scholar for 20 years, and then we also have the other legal scholar on your side of the on your side of the community. But no, I'm not a legal scholar, and I'm not a lawyer. That's why I have lawyers that are fighting my trial right now, and I'm not doing it. They're representing me now. So.
I do think it would be prudent for everybody, not just you, but everybody, to understand the difference between a public forum and limited public forum. I do think that is prudent, especially to your activism.
Yeah. No, but I would argue is that there is no. So I mean, I guess you could say so. The public forum doctrine. Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but because I don't want to, I'm not an attorney. But I would just say is that from my ignorant understanding of the public forum doctrine, it was created in order to have, again, not legal advice, but in my crude understanding, it would be to make sure that the property, the forum, is used for its intended purposes, right? Meaning, again, my ignorant understanding is you can't go into City Hall and start saying F the police and F the mayor with 50 people screaming and yelling everywhere. That would disrupt normal business activities. My argument, again, these are all arguments and opinions. My argument would be is that wouldn't apply to news gathering. The public forum doctrine wouldn't apply to news gathering because in and of itself, filming and recording does not. Anybody can reasonably, objectively say recording in and of itself does not hamper any business. I mean, I would assume that. Again, you can have a different opinion, but it's never been, there's no case law that specifically says, you can talk about sheets and everything else. Again, I'm not an attorney, but my crude understanding is that it's meant to, restrict expressive activities as far as F the police and protesting inside of the mayor's office when the mayor needs to get work done. But again, I could be wrong. I've never been, public forum analysis. And I will say this, in my 5 dealings that I've been arrested, all of which no criminal conviction, but in those 5 dealings, I never once people have brought up public forums. They only get public forums from Mark's, memo he sends out, but they don't really, that's not really it. In my trial right now, they're not mentioning limited public forums. And I'm on day, Johnny, I'm on day. This might be the longest infraction trial in the history of infraction trials. We are going on day 7 tomorrow of this infraction trial where if I lose and I'm found guilty of these infractions, it's a total of $180. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the waste of resources by the state of Connecticut for a $180 ticket at the end. No criminal conviction. But I can assure you that public forums and limited public forums did not come up by licensed attorneys. You think the state's attorney would know? And they definitely got Mark's memo, so they're not bringing it up. So I don't think it applies. Again, not an attorney.
Blurple Dragon for $5 says, when you get paid for an image, you need consent for it.
That's not true. You don't need consent. Not legally anyway. That's it. If we want to talk about a civil, claim that someone can bring, that's completely different. I mean, did I use your image, Blurple Dragon? Then you can take me to court, I assume. And
yeah, there is some validity behind what this comment here, but it's a little more
it's more nuanced than you just need someone's consent.
Run away for $5 is my main problem, is that it's not the frontline workers who are put in the line. If you're serious about change, go to the lawmakers, not the workers. I tend to agree with the statement here. This is one of my biggest issues with those who say, this is about change and change and change. And the majority of the changes that I've seen have been in the wrong direction against what you guys are going after. Kind of the more harm than more good. So that's I think there's some validity in that.
I do too, and I will say that. Well, I haven't met with any lawmakers. I will say, keep going back to the fact that I do work with police officers in order to, try and bridge that divide. And, I think the main way, and I would disagree a little bit with what we were saying, Johnny, is that, public opinion is strong, right? There's a lot of influence when, if I write a letter, let's say I write a letter or I go by myself to just stand outside of a lawmaker's office, right? And I didn't have 384,000 subscribers and I didn't have, the views that I get. They're not going to care, because I'll tell you one thing to everyone watching this channel and everybody who watches my channel and everyone in between. There's one thing that I will let you know. Those lawmakers, they don't care about you or me they want to make money. They're there to make money. Again, let's say generally, but do you really think those, 1,600 page bills are on these thousands of pages? You think they read them? Do you think they care how it affects your life? They care about public perception. They care about public perception. And when you have a large audience like I do, again, subjective. Some people might say it's small. I don't know. But you can use that in order to influence. You get big enough. Why are you called social media influencers, right? You can use that influence for good, or you can use it for bad.
There is a responsibility element in there. Absolutely. Tones of Marie for £5 says, that is a small mind thinking. If you want change, then do something. Start with local councils. Work up. Filming the secretary gets you nothing. Tend to agree with this statement. I think that. Okay, so this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say for this. In your defense, civil disobedience is a good tactic, but it's only the beginning, right? So when we talk about civil disobedience, obviously we want to go back to Martin Luther King. We want to talk about Rosa Parks and whatnot. Rosa Parks didn't just sit down and then, get kicked off the bus and go away and then go sit down on another bus. No, she pushed it, right? So she took her arrest. She took that up and up and up and up and up. And I think that's where the activism has to happen, is in the courts. You have to use the courts to beat the courts, right?
But the problem is that a lot of the time, and I speak from personal experience, is that you could want to take it the whole way and the municipality will just drop it, right? They'll just say, hey, you know what? We're just not prosecuting this case. And you can't say, well, prosecute me. I want to take this the whole way. I want to go to trial. You don't have that option. You can't force people to prosecute you. I'm on trial for 2 infractions. I had 2 infractions and 4 criminal misdemeanors. They dropped all the misdemeanors, so I wouldn't have a jury trial. I can't force them to do that. But I do see your point. I do 100% see that just the civil disobedience, in and of itself is not going to affect real much change. But I'm trying to change public perception. There's many people who've reached out to me and said, hey, I hated auditors. And then I watched your channel and now, I understand the purpose of it. Again, subjective people. I have a pretty big size of people who are, commenting and stuff. And I like to think that maybe one day I'll have case law and we get to take it to the right channels.
Well, if you do get case law one day, then we can revisit that for certain, because I would be interested to see how that plays out. Blue Bear for $5 says, LAA, please research CEFIC versus US regarding recording in government buildings as a non-public forum.
I've never actually heard of that case, so I'll look into it. Sure.
Fair.
CEFIC.
Yep. Bridge of Divide for $4.99 says, just got here. He does understand that his tactics will only result in curtailing rescinding of our rights. Correct. I mean, that's kind of the point that I made earlier. That we're starting to see that in places like Washington.
I mean, you can make that argument, right? The Arizona argument that you made earlier. I would rebuttal with, in Berwyn, Illinois, there used to be signs that said no recording inside City Hall, and I got the mayor because of my act of civil disobedience. The mayor took down those signs. So again, small change, but change nonetheless, right? Is taking down those signs less rights or more rights? Whether you think those rights matter is irrelevant. Is it more rights or less rights than you had
Right,
before I
but
went
taking
there?
down those signs versus Arizona, the state passing a bill.
Again, fair.
I mean, that's
fair.
we have to look at, if we're talking about playing risk here, right now you're looking like you're taking on Russia's Eastern Front during wintertime. So
Fair enough.
we had a couple of Julia points been applied.